Welcome to the alley. Welcome back. Episode 34. 34 weeks strong. Very, very special guest today in the building. I'll preface by saying for sure, definitely. Oh shit!
This is about your soundboard, bro.
Wait, which one are you hitting?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
For sure, you can even ask Miguel, Adrian. You've been one of my when I first started the podcast, first ideas for interview. Definitely
number
was
one
you.
guest.
Yeah, so this is definitely a long time in the making.
Yup.
Thank you for being on, bro. Appreciate it. You are a busy guy.
I'm hyped to be here. I'm hyped to be here.
Busy guy. So the fact that we've been fucking working on this shit for 2-3 months. Get it. Cheers. Thank you for being on. Big beverage of choice for today is Boochcraft Ginger Lime. We drink this shit for free, right, Miguel?
Ooh.
According to Jake, shout out Jake.
Fire. Yeah, shout out
drink
Jake.
for
Hey,
free.
Jake. Slime me something.
Jake for free.
Slime me.
We don't really drink this. It's a fucking.
We'll bring up that story
Funny
later.
little inside joke. We'll bring it up later. But anyways, fucking. So I was yesterday, after we kicked it and stuff, because Adrian and I did go have a dinner yesterday, had some hookah. And I was like, damn, how long have I known Adrian for? And I kind of started thinking, I'm like, you know what? I think if I could recall, the first time I actually started talking to you, because I think I had you for PE.
Really?
You were in the same period, I think.
Where was this at? Granger? Or
Granger,
Sweetwater?
yeah, we had the same PE period at Granger. I think you had,
That's crazy.
you must have had Howard. This is when you had your spiky hair.
Yeah, I did not have long hair at that point.
You had your spiky hair and whatever. We didn't really talk much, but I think we knew of each other. And then when I started hitting you up was when we started doing music.
Yep.
So I think that's how I got to know you. And then ever since.
What was the first connection? It was mutual friends or
Bro, I
something?
literally think I just hit him up because he was putting up beats.
I was putting up beats on
In Granger.
It was
Granger times?
Yeah.
when it started, yeah.
I would post them on Facebook.
Yeah.
Swear, I would upload them to SoundCloud and then post them on Facebook, and people would be like, "Yo,"
Because it's the whole crew, right? I forget their names. I'm sorry. Everyone, Pancho at one point, right? And all them was.
At that point, I was kicking it with
Nah, you were kicking it with
Raul.
with Raul.
Oh, that-
baseball and stuff.
Raul. Yeah. So
But yeah, bro, that's literally how I hit him up. I was just like, oh shit, he makes music that's tight. Cause you were probably on that early.
bro, I was in 7th, 8th grade.
Yeah. You were on that
Crazy.
early, before everybody started doing it. That's when you were, what was your name? A-Track. A-Tracks?
A-Tracks, yep. My dad gave me that name.
That's sick.
Yeah, he was like, you should be A-Tracks.
We definitely didn't get into
all right.
the whole history of that, where you started all that.
Yeah, we're gonna
Right.
but we're gonna start with the brand first.
Yep.
But anyways, yeah, ever since then, I feel like we just kind of kept in touch. I feel like I every time you'd post a beat, I'd be like, oh shit, this is tight, this is tight, this is tight. And I don't know, we just kind of kept in touch since then, I think, right?
That's pretty much how it went. I mean, we went after that. After Granger, it was Sweetwater, and then see this dude around all the time. And then after high school, I feel I kind of kicked it more. Obviously, I think we saw each other during high school, but then after that,
Because Adrian is a couple years older than us, so he graduated.
I think I'm just 1 year. Yeah.
Oh, just 1 year?
You guys are what? 17? Yeah, I'm 16.
I think it's because you also hung out with older people when we were in school, so it does
That's
kind of
true.
seem like you. It always felt like you were old,
That's true.
more than a year older than.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, so since fucking high school, music, but the main reason why we brought you today, we're obviously your brand.
Yeah.
Your brand.
We All Ugly.
We All Ugly. He's rocking the sweater
Rocking
right
right
now
here, the
as
crew
we
neck.
speak.
New crew.
Yep.
You started that. It's been 4 years now.
Yeah, it's been 4 years. I think I always get the time messed up, but yeah, it's been 4 years. I think I started it at the end of 2018. Then I think it was the end of 2018.
Shit, this is after high school.
Yeah, this is after high school, bro.
Why in my head I'm thinking in high school I seen people rocking shit, or am I tripping?
I mean,
Maybe early shit or no?
no,
whatsoever. I'm sure.
nah. I mean, I didn't have any type of merch. I didn't know anything about merch
Yeah,
in high school at all.
I think the only person that had a brand in high school was Darvin.
Darvin, yeah.
As far as I can remember, he was the only one.
yeah, nah.
But how did the brand come about?
Man.
What made you be I want to have a brand and make clothing brand specifically?
Yeah,
Obviously.
I think the crazy part is one, I'll preface it I wasn't ever the dude, even in high school, I wasn't ever the dude dressing hella crazy. I wasn't hella into fashion. I really didn't know about I wore freaking, I think in high school I wore sandals and shorts and a t-shirt, bro.
Cargo
and
pants,
Vans,
cargo
cargo
shorts.
pants, cargo shirts. I didn't know anything about all that. So yeah, man. After high school, I mean, I just kept doing music, but then after that, I would go out places and I would go to the mall basically. I would literally go to like Fashion Valley Mall, obviously trying to get some better clothes, and I would see all the stuff and I'm like, yo, that's a cool hoodie, but like it just says good vibes or whatever. Like, you know what I mean?
The corny ass
yeah,
words
like, and they were charging like $100 and I'm like, bro, like I don't want to spend $100 on this thing. It's like, it's cool, but I feel like I could do something like this and also have it be something that I actually believe in, you know what I mean? So after that, I kind of went back to the drawing board and I was like, you know what? I think I want to start something. And not in the like mindset of like, yo, I want to be the next person out of San Diego doing a brand or nothing like that. I was really like, yo, I want to just start something that I believe in, like a message that I believe in. And so with all that, I went to the drawing board and one of my friends gave me my actual, like my producer name now, which is Wowie. So it's WAUI. And so I took the I off of that. Like I took the I off of that because I thought wow was cool, like WAU.
Okay.
That is tight.
So then, yeah, it was cool. I was like, okay, you could say it, you know, oh wow, like that's the brand is wow.
Nice.
And so I took the WAU and I like started to put pieces together. Like, okay, what words can I put to those letters? You know what I mean? And also at this point, I had already had like the message of like I wanted it to be something that was like humble and genuine and authentic because I feel like the people that I resonate the most with are genuine, authentic, humble people that are like just cool people. Like, you know, when you go somewhere and you just meet somebody and you're like, dang, like
Down to earth.
Right, you're a cool person. You know what I mean? And so there was moments throughout like this little journey of starting this brand that I would go places and be treated different ways, like based off of like whether it was like not having money or not having clothes, not looking like, you know, whatever people wanted. You know, you go somewhere and like, I don't know. I think even in fashion, sometimes you go places and people will treat you differently based on what you're wearing.
Yep.
Which is fine. Like that's cool. But for me, I was like, I wanted it to be people that are humble, like authentic and genuine. So through all that, I was like, you know what? Let's see what these words are. And so at first I came up with We Always Ugly, like kind of like DGK. Like I looked at all the brands that, you know, we looked at like growing up and DGK was one of them. So if you guys don't know about DGK, it was Dirty Ghetto Kids. And I kind of liked it. I kind of liked like that, like raw grittiness of it. And so I was like, We Always Ugly. That was the WAU was We Always Ugly. And I was like, that's kind of cool. Like, you know, shot it back and forth with a couple of my friends and like my family and my friend Swaggy. I think you know Swaggy.
Steve, yeah.
Swaggy Steve. Actually, shout out Swaggy Steve. He's the one that we were on a drive to the casino one night. We were going to call a casino. I was like, probably 19 or 20 at that time or whatever. And we're going over there. And I was like, yo guys, I want to start this brand. Gave him the whole rundown. Like, yo, being humble, this whole thing is just about, you know, we all have flaws. We're not perfect people. like, you know, we always ugly or whatever. Like that's the gang, like, you know? And he was like, what about like We All Ugly? And I was like, yeah, that sounds way better. Like that's the
Right away.
Yeah, right away. Like all of us in the car, it was me, Victor, Swaggy, and Chancho. And we were in the car and we were like, that sounds way better. That's the one.
That rolls off.
And so, yeah, so that's kind of like the whole story of like how it kind of all came about. But yeah, he's the one that kind of like stamped it as like, oh, we all ugly.
Oh shit! I didn't know.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. And so he'll take it and he'll be like, I came up with 100%. But it's funny, yeah. So yeah, that's kind of how all that came about. It was off of experiences. You know, I went out, talked to people, and I was just treated different ways. Like, you know, whether I didn't have money or whatever. Yeah, go.
When before you came up with the name, did you have something in mind, like visually, of what you wanted? Like, were you aiming towards like streetwear? Did you see? I know you were getting inspiration from different people. What were you imagining, like in your head?
I think it was mostly like streetwear. It wasn't ever really on like high fashion type of thing. It was mostly streetwear, and it was mostly just I wanted it to be affordable. It was like I said, I went to the mall and I was like, bro, I don't got $100 to spend on this hoodie. That's like, you know,
basic
whatever.
ass hoodie.
Yeah. So I was like, I want it to be affordable. I want it to be for people that are, you know, genuine and authentic, that rock with that. Like, if you wear your heart on your sleeve and you're like, look, I'm not perfect, and I'm not trying to sit here and act like I am. You know what I mean? And so if you rock with that, like, I wanted something for like a group of people like that, you know? So, yeah, that's pretty much, I mean, I didn't really have like
like plans or anything?
Yeah, I didn't have any plans at that point, bro. Like I literally just had the message.
Coming up with the concept first. That's I think that's better. Came up with the concept first and like right away the message, all that's it means something.
And at that time I was listening to a lot of J. Cole. So it was like, listen to a lot of J. Cole, which is like he's one of my favorite rappers. And so as we know, J. Cole is a deep thinker, and like, you listen to his music and it really makes you think about life and about different things. And so that's really where I was and still where I am. Like, we all ugly. Like we all got imperfections. Like nobody's perfect. And so you shouldn't treat somebody else differently based off of whatever, whether it's like visual or not. Everybody got their own thing they're going through and what they deal with and struggle with. So
what's your experience been like so far, just as far as growing the brand necessarily, right? Obviously, I would probably say locally where we're from, like, I would say you're fairly well known. A lot of people know who you are, I think, where we're from. But you also have a lot of connections, like through music, obviously, through Young Life and through all. So a good amount of people. Would you say people were pretty like receptive towards it when you first started dropping merch? Like, were people like, hey, like this is dope? Were they supporting? Or
the crazy thing, bro, is so when I first started it, we had came up with We All Ugly, and after that, I was like, you know what? I was already kind of creative with music, and I was like, I really had this mindset though of like, there's nothing I can't do, like type thing, like So I was like, you know what? Let me just come up with a logo. Like, let me download Illustrator, Photoshop, whatever. Let me mess around with like coming up with a logo, because I knew about fonts, everything. So I was like, came with the logo and went to T-shirt Mart like next day and was like, yo, I want to get this printer or whatever. And mind you, it took a little bit of time to get the logo down, all that stuff, but came up with that. And I went to a middle school wildlife little club event. And it's like, basically we hang out with the middle schoolers, all that stuff. We were at Peter Piper Pizza. Pull up there and I'm wearing the hoodie, the first ever hoodie that we ever got made, whatever. And one of the girls was like, yo, that's a fire hoodie. Where'd you get it? And I was like,
you're like, really?
Really? Like, and her name was Yvette, and she was like in 7th grade at the time. And so she was like, yo, I want one. Like, where do I get one? And I was like, yo,
bro, that's raps.
I was like, I think we might be onto something, but then like, that's a high of, what you're talking about. But there was also people that were like, literally told me like, oh, you're just going to put some words together and put it on a t-shirt or put it on a hoodie. And like, you're just going to start a brand like everybody else.
You're like, yeah.
100%, bro. Like people literally said that, like literally, like not everybody was on board, like, right away. And so there was people that literally said that to my face, like, and I was like, wow, like for real, but
they be your own homies, bro.
Yeah. But I mean, those ones though are the same ones buying the hoodies now. So like, it is
full circle. It came full circle.
Full circle. It is what it is. But yeah, not everybody was, on board with it from the jump. I
wanted to bring that up. It's a good point though. Another local dude. We're all from National City.
Yeah.
Grew up here.
True. So
I think that was a big thing too. When we brought Marky on, when we brought King on, he talked about how he had to blow up here kind of specifically before, doing outreach and growing the brand or whatever, his music. So same thing. That's another example. Just like how at home, it started off at home first with your like community and just blew up like that. That's crazy. Can you talk about that a little bit? How did it expand?
It really did. So, I mean, I wasn't super focused on San Diego at one point. Like I really wasn't. I was like, you know what? Like, let's just put this brand out and like,
let's go to LA, baby.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go, wherever. And the crazy part about that was like early stages, we were getting orders from like New Zealand, from like Germany, from like different states in the US. And I was like, yo, what the heck? How are these people finding out about this? And so it's dope. Like I appreciate them. But then at the same time, I think this was probably 2 or 3 years ago or something where I was like, I want to do something for San Diego. Like I really want to like put our stamp in San Diego at least. And so that's when we started doing a little bit more of the San Diego stuff. Like we did a couple things that colorway and got some stuff to a couple like really Musgrove, but that was pretty dope.
Sick.
Yeah, that was pretty dope.
What? Wait, really?
It was pretty crazy. Yeah, that was wild. But I mean, we could talk about that. But really, I wanted to make our stamp in San Diego. Like, I wanted it to be like, well known in San Diego, and I think we're actually at that point now, just based off of the amount of people that like tell me, yo, I've seen this.
Oh yeah,
on somebody.
I would
over
text
here.
you. Remember, I'd be like, bro, like I was at the fucking freeway, and some dude had a bumper sticker.
Bro,
like,
it's crazy.
I was at Harley walking into work, and there's a bus stop right in front of the restaurant.
Yeah.
Some fucking skater kids, 4 of them, all rocking
Mission Hills area,
all rocking a tee.
That's crazy.
And I was like, what? Like what? And I was running late, but at one point I was gonna be like, yo, I'm gonna see like how the fuck you guys know him? You know, like where did you guys hear? What is going on?
It's a trip. But yeah, man, that was kind of a focus. Was like, yo, let's just make our stamp in San Diego. And that really, the biggest part of that was doing more like pop-ups in San Diego, doing more events here. Just because we wanted it to be out, you know, out in the city. Like,
we'll talk about that too. Because you had a big one, no? Like recently?
We could go into that now,
Yeah.
including the pop-up. But tell all the people that are
All these
watching.
bums.
No, not bums, but like people that want to do, everybody, like we were talking about yesterday, like everybody wants to do brands, everybody wants to rap, everybody wants to make beats. Like tell them exactly how much, because bro, like you guys would understand, like he has to get product. He has to compare prices, I'm sure, on the product, on the quality of the product. You got to print stuff. You got to ship shit. You got to have people helping. Or when you do pop-ups, all that shit.
Yeah.
Talk about like everything that goes into actually running the brand.
It's a lot. It's really a lot. But I mean, I'm super grateful to be able to do it. Like I'll say that off top. But man, yeah. So we are actually printing our own stuff. So that's what happened. After I had made that first hoodie. Went to T-Shirt Mart, did that. You know, they charged me freaking an arm and a leg for that, just a hoodie. And after that, I realized I was like, oh dang, we have to figure out a way to make money off this stuff, because there's no way I'm gonna be able to make money off of what they were giving me. You know what I mean? They were charging me like $35, $40 for a hoodie. And I was like,
you weren't even breaking even.
There's no way, because people were asking me for them. So I went into screen printing. That was my like option. Was like, okay, let me learn how to screen print. Let me just screen print our own stuff. And there was a lot of trials with that stuff. So I went through like 2 years of learning how to do that. And then after that, we started doing more pop-ups and everything. So, but man, to get into the pop-up stuff, it is a lot. It's like, you really gotta make sure, obviously you want to give quality. And sometimes like even with our screen printing and stuff, like it'll start to like fade eventually, like a year or 2 years down the line, which is like, but at the same time, we're trying to make this stuff affordable. So it's like,
you have to compromise somewhere.
Exactly. But even with the pop-up stuff, bro, that stuff gets crazy. Like we did Kobe's one day. We did, because everybody's always asking, Kobe's like, come out to Kobe's. That was like probably like a 13, 14 hour day, maybe even longer.
What?
Like, and that was just that day. But think about printing. Like we
all the shit, bro, getting your team together, getting the people together, getting the fucking scheduling, everything.
We were literally printing up until like probably 3 or 4 in the morning, like that day. Like it was crazy. And a lot of it, I'm learning how to plan better, like planning out like, yo, get this stuff printed a month in advance. But it's also like, you know, figuring out how many hoodies you want to have, how many different colors you want to have, what other items are you going to have,
sizes,
like, all those pop-ups, all that pop-up stuff starts months before, bro. Months before.
That's
so
fucking insane.
Yeah. And a lot, like you were talking about, bro, like a lot of people don't get a lot of the work that goes into this. Like everybody thinks like, oh, I'm gonna just buy the shirt, and that's just the shirt, just it appeared there. But it's like, nah, a lot of work goes into like
years in the making. You've built a foundation now, I would say.
Yeah.
Also because you're consistent though. Like
everybody says that. I don't believe it myself, because I think about things in my head and I'm like, dang, I'm like, I missed
trying to work harder.
I missed it here. Yeah, I missed it here. I missed it here. I missed it here. And I wish I constantly had but yeah, I mean, I appreciate it. I appreciate people saying that. People say I'm like, you're consistent. I'm like,
well, no, like you're consistent in, how do I say it? Like even when, because I know I've seen your page when like you'll say like that you kind of explain why you haven't dropped anything.
Yeah.
When you're like, we're kind of redoing shit for the next season, or the Valentine's Day drop you did this past year. And it's more like you're even in just updating people with like, hey, we're here. We're like, we're not dead. We're just like, you know, re-upping, getting ready for the next supply. And then you do like you're pretty, I mean, in doing pop-ups, just because you don't do one, like you say you try to shoot for what, like 1 or 2 big ones a year, which is a typical waffle one that you just did this past year.
Yep. We did that one. That one was crazy. That one was like super dope. That one took a lot of time, bro. That was a lot of time, a lot of money. A lot of people think like, yo, I'm about to make $15,000-$20,000. It's like, yeah, you can make that, but you spend a lot too.
How was the turnout, like people?
We had like 350 people there, like throughout the whole day, which is dope. Like I appreciate San Diego, like for coming out, and like even a TikTok like low key popped off. So random people from TikTok pulled up, like, yo, I saw a TikTok and I pulled up. And at the same time, I wanted to make an event, like even that event specifically. Man, I would go out in San Diego and I wouldn't see really like dope events that took care of people. Like, I think my thing, I don't know if it's just a cultural thing or just a family that I grew up in or the people that I'm around, like taking care of people is part of like loving them. You know what I mean? And I'm thinking like, oh, if you come out to an event and you're spending your money that you worked hard for, I want to at least take care of you a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, so we had tacos there, we had drinks there, we had like some free tote bags, you know, if you guys bought some stuff or whatever, like stickers, all that stuff. So I didn't see any events like that really in San Diego. There's dope events going on, but I was like, yo, San Diego's so dope. Like, we should be taking care of our customers too. You know what I mean? We should take care of the community, take care of the customers, like all that stuff. So yeah, bro, those pop-ups are crazy though. Those pop-ups are insane. But I love it. I love it.
What's been your biggest, like as of now, right? You're obviously, I know, like I'm asking you that at the end, like what your plans are, like future plans with this, but what's been your biggest high so far? Like on a date, like with the brand itself, where you're just like, oh shit, like this is really sick.
Man, I don't know. There's a lot of different highs, but I think seeing random people, like people that I don't know,
that's what would get me
wearing it. Too. Like, it's insane. Like, there's that, and there's also like, you know, when we did get Musgrove some stuff and he posted, I was like, yo, what the heck? This is wild. This is wild. I'm like, there's two different things, but like at the same time, I also just appreciate like people that I don't know buying this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we were talking a little bit about that yesterday. People that like really rock with you, and like we went out to an event in Atlanta and people were literally coming, like me and my brother, my friend Bianca and Swaggy went too. And so we all went, and there was like random people like coming up to us like, yo, I'm a big fan of your guys' work. Like, like you guys are killing it. And I'm like, this is crazy. Like the fact
you
that
guys are here though. I live over there.
Yeah.
So fucking far out, bro.
It's wild. So it's like, yo, and then people randomly coming up to you, yo, can I get a picture? Like, and it's wild. I'm like, yo, this is insane. Like, it is so crazy. But yeah, man, those are the highs, like those moments of like
the little ones. Yeah.
Or talking to people about the brand. Like when they get it, like, yo, I came across this over here and like, I love what it stands for. Like, we all ugly. Like, we all have imperfections. We're not perfect. Like, I love it. Like, this is what I believe in. Like, I feel like this and I believe in it too. So yeah, those are like the highs, honestly. Those are the highs. I mean, making the money, yeah, 100%, like cool. But I don't think there's really like a dollar amount that you can put on like those moments with people. So,
hell yeah, bro.
Yeah, bro. Even us, like that, we're still obviously we're hella trying to grow still. But like, there's little moments like especially when we first started, like if I would see like on our, because obviously we can see the analytics for the podcast and stuff. When I would see like some random from like fucking New Zealand tuned in, even if they never tuned in again, like that shit alone made me geek, because I'm like, oh shit, like this person literally lives in another country, and that's tight. Like I definitely relate to that in that sense. So what? Okay, fucking Joe Musgrove and Rey Mysterio. Hell?
I forgot about the Rey Mysterio. That's crazy. That was actually no.
That one was better.
Not that it was better, but that was another moment that I was like,
no way.
This, like, I don't even believe it.
Did you watch wrestling growing up?
I actually didn't.
Oh, see,
which is kind of crazy.
I didn't either.
I actually didn't, but I always knew the name because it was so.
He's just San Diego.
It's Rey Mysterio.
He's a San Diego legend, like star. Like, bro, there's nobody around here like that doesn't know who he is. So when that happened, like when we were going through with like the drop of all that stuff, I was like, this is wild. Like I would have thought like,
how'd that come? Because you met him, right? You talked to him?
We met him. So he actually reached out. He reached out to us through my friend Josh, and it was crazy. He was like, yo, Ray wants a hoodie. And I was like,
you're like, okay, let him buy it. He's like, no, but he wants to link up.
Yeah, no, he was like, yo, he wants a hoodie, but he wants like a specific colorway, and like this is what he wants. And I was like,
oh, no, custom.
What? Yeah, he was like, he wanted a custom. So like, and this was like last year, bro. Like this was before the whole drop and everything. So we had that idea.
Oh, this was way ahead of time.
This was like months or maybe even a year before the drop.
So it wasn't even like a rollout. That shit was like.
I mean, we kind of rolled. We planned how we rolled it out. We planned how we rolled it out. But like that stuff happened way before. Like we had it like, and like we had kept it for a little while.
That's
like,
fire.
Yeah, so that's how it happened. He reached out to us and he was like, yo, I need a Padre colorway hoodie. I'm gonna wear it for, he wanted to wear it for, I think, I forgot what wrestling event it was, but he was like, yo, I want to wear it in the ring.
Dude,
but, imagine that would have been crazy.
Him at like
what happened?
Even dope, yeah, bro. So what ended up happening is he had ended up wearing it to a Dodger Padre game, one of the games like during the season,
and he came on like the TV or something.
I think Dominic was throwing like the first pitch or something. So
he's a wrestler.
He was like,
he's a wrestler
Dominic
too
is
now.
his son. So he was just there, but Dominic was throwing the pitch, and so I think he did come out on like the big screen though.
Yeah,
I think he
maybe.
did, but he was wearing it. Yeah, it was crazy. But the crazy thing is we weren't even there until we had tickets to the game and everything. But we were like a little late. And so we like kind of missed it, but it was crazy. It was like, yeah, that's how we got the picture. We met him at Petco Park and it was super dope. He's like, yo, bro, if you ever have any other like things you want, like, bro, I'll literally buy it. Like whatever you have, I want to wear it. And I was like, yo, this dude is just a genuine dude. Like, and that's where I wanted to, like, I don't want to work with like, I'm really not trying to be out here on the clout. Like I didn't want to drop that as like a clout, like, yo, oh my gosh, this dude, this is hella famous.
Mysterio rock.
Yeah, which that's what it was. But he, like, we didn't like.
You didn't advertise it as that.
Exactly.
Though.
We didn't like, we weren't like, yo, wear the hoodie. Here's the hoodie. How can we send you some stuff? It was like, yo, no, he really wanted a hoodie. Like, he's the one that reached out to us. Yeah. And so
dude, that's
yeah,
love.
it's crazy.
I wonder what his connection was. It through his son? Was it through?
It was
Dominic?
through his daughter. It was through Aaliyah. So Aaliyah, yeah. So I'm good friends with them. So yeah, it's pretty good.
Damn.
So they would wear it around the house or wear it around like, at parties or whatever, like, at the family parties or whatever. And so he would see it and he'd be like, yo,
what's good?
I need one. Yeah. Like I need a hoodie.
Yeah. Cause
like,
they stay out here, right? They're like in Bonita or Otay or something.
I don't even know where they are now.
Bro. They're
yeah.
close.
But they're still in San Diego. Yeah. They're
shout out them.
That is
shout out Aaliyah. I love y'all for real.
And shout out Rey Mysterio. Shout out Dominic Mysterio.
For real.
Yeah, that's love, bro. What about the Musgrove?
Bro, so Musgrove was a little different. This was before the no hitter though. This was like before Musgrove was a household name in San Diego. My friend, I think this was probably I think it must have been early like 2020 when he had first came out here. She was a fan of the Astros, which he was on before. And so when he came out here, she like tagged me and Chancho in one of his pictures and said, take care of my boy Musgrove. And so I saw the comment and I was like, okay, like cool.
All right.
And then I'm like on Instagram throughout the rest of the day or whatever. And I get a notification and it says, Musgrove liked your picture on my personal page. And I was like, Musgrove, like what the heck? So I click on his profile, whatever. I look at it and I'm like, I think he only had like 40,000 followers at the time or whatever. And I was like, this dude's a pitcher for the Padres. This is crazy. So at that point I was like, yo, like, let's see if he rocks with the brand. Yeah, let's see if he rocks with the brand. Cause he liked an old picture. Like he scrolled all the way down, like a picture of one of the hoodies on my profile, which is like, yeah, he like scrolled all the way down, went through my whole thing and like liked one of the pictures. And I was like, bet, cool. So I said in the DM and I was like, yo, bro, like, love to send you some stuff. This is what we rock with. Like, this is the whole meaning behind the brand, humility, like authenticity. Like, he's like, yo, I love it. Like, and I think at the time they were in Peoria out there training for spring training. And so he dropped the address of the spring training center and we sent him a whole box and stuff.
Bro, fucking sick.
Yeah,
wow.
It's pretty crazy. Yeah, it's pretty wild. And then he had posted on his story and then even like his barber would tag us sometimes and he would like get a haircut. He'd be wearing the hoodie or whatever. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy because we've given him more stuff and everything too, but yeah, he's super cool dude. So like super humble, cool dude.
Another local, baby.
Another local. Yeah. It was crazy. I found out
cool, dude.
Through somebody else that his family was, I think, in National City. Like they grew up in, they were like either lived there for some time or whatever, but I think his dad might have graduated from Sweetwater.
Wow, dude. If that's
I think so.
I
think so. Yeah.
That's insane. Well, shout out Joe Musgrove.
For real. Yeah, man. This is crazy.
Real quick before we break here, I'm sure you probably get asked maybe from like your younger homies, especially like if you had to give one piece of advice to people trying to start their own clothing brand.
Oh my gosh. I have actually, this is going to sound kind of wild, but I have actually convinced some people to not do it.
Oh.
Which is wild. It might sound wild, but I would say the one thing I would say is if you're trying to do this to make money, don't do it. Like to be honest, like I think, and it might sound wild, but if you're trying to do this to like make extra money to pay your rent next month, or if you're trying to make extra money to like buy something, like, yeah, cool, but it's going to take you a lot more money to like make this thing actually happen. And no matter how dope your like idea is, no matter how dope like your designs are, like you're competing against every other brand ever. Like, you know what I mean? So you're competing against literally like Off-White, Nike, Jordan, like you're competing against them. So it's like it takes time and it takes time, money and effort to like build a brand, like to really, that people will really believe in and think you're serious. You know what I mean? So yeah, people have came up to me like, they're like, yo, how do I, and I'm like, yo, don't do it if you're trying to make money. That's like the one thing I would do. And I would be like, yo, don't do it. Like for real, like really think about it. And if you really want to do it, plan it out. Plan out what you want to do. Like plan out your first year at least. and because it's gonna cost you a lot of money. Like,
It's a lot of
don't
money
just
to
start,
invest in it.
bro. It's a lot of money. Like I'll say I'm at least probably in at least 20, maybe. Like at least 20. Like I mean, we're making money, but like it took at least 15 to 20 to like at least get basics down.
To get where you're at right now.
To get basics down. I mean, that's just, I think it takes a lot.
Damn.
If you don't have like anybody that's kind of mentoring you or like telling you, yo, this is how you should do it.
Or help you even financially.
Exactly,
for that matter.
bro. Like, exactly.
You came from the ground up, bro.
Yeah. I mean, luckily I had people like, you know, shout out my grandma. Like she put up some money for us. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like it wasn't a lot of money, but it was something. But that was after years of me I was probably more, you know, like she was like, yo, I really see you putting in work. Like here, like this is a gift. And so but I had to still put in years of work for, you know, I was already down like all that. So yeah, bro, it's pretty wild.
All right, fucking A. Let's just jump back into where we left off. So like I said originally when we started, I met you through music.
Yep.
Adrian is on top of the fact that he has his brand going, which I wanted to mention real quick. I wanted to end with that, but we were kind of going over with time. I think it's dope that you do that shit with your brother.
Yeah, bro. It's fire.
What?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Bro,
Me and my
that's
brother.
Your sister and Josh are in the same. They're the same.
That's the connection there?
Yes, that's
Yeah,
right. I think
that's
so.
probably what it is.
No
then.
idea. Yeah, my sister, I think she went to the last pop-up shop.
My cousins too. Like they know his brother
Same
too.
grade.
Like,
Oh,
same
shit, no
grade and
idea,
shit.
bro. And
That's
then,
how.
and then another connection, my little brother is like, I don't know if they still are. Well, my little brother doesn't go to, he's not at Granger.
Oh, okay.
We moved him over to Bonita Middle.
Okay.
And I think he's going to go Bonita High. But they were like, he's been at Ira with his little sister, same grade. the
Oh
whole
yeah,
way through.
that's crazy. We got the same, like, you know.
Yeah, like siblings
Yeah.
in age. That's crazy.
That's wild.
But anyway, sorry to continue. So met you through music. What originally made you wanna? Especially, that's why I think it's tight, because you started doing clothes.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to say before everybody did, but it was like right at the beginning when
yeah.
people started like doing fucking brands left and right.
Mm-hmm.
But music for sure, I know, because when you started making beats is when everybody wanted to be a rapper.
Yeah, that's true.
So what made you want to make beats? What made you want to be? No, and even at that, I wouldn't even say, especially now, like learning more about music, you're not a beat maker, you're a producer.
yeah.
What made you want to do that?
Man, I think I grew up in the band. Like the band, I was playing like clarinet and trumpet and saxophone and all that stuff. So I grew up playing music. I loved it.
You have a background.
I had a background.
Okay.
Yeah, I had some background going into music, but then they would always give us like these whack songs to play.
Damn, the ginger, holy
The ginger's
shit,
hidden.
that got
Hey,
me
the
too,
ginger's
yeah.
hidden.
I felt the-
Hey, be careful. Your computer's right here.
Oh,
They
shit.
won't know. Hopefully not. But
Don't bring it up.
Hey.
fucking floor.
But yeah, I had a background in music. I grew up in the band and playing instruments, and they would always give us these songs, and I was like, bro, these
ass.
songs are whack.
I only did 7th
These
grade.
songs suck. And so I had went to like the Boys and Girls Club playing those songs for like a little while, grew up, and then I hit Granger, and finally at Granger, I think 7th, 8th grade was like, I was like, cool, like freaking Mr. Martinez, like, cool, your songs are cool, but I don't want to play this music.
Yeah.
Like, I want to learn how to make my own music. And I was blessed by one of my uncles that got me a laptop. He got me like a MacBook
hell
in
yeah.
like 6th grade or 5th grade or something like that.
Oh, chill.
And I opened up GarageBand, and there's different little loops in GarageBand that you can like mess around with or whatever. And so that's kind of how I started making beats.
that's fucking
was I would just open up GarageBand and mess around with stuff and be
Shout
like,
out
"Yo,
your
I made
uncle,
this."
bro. That's
for real.
crazy.
Shout out my uncle. Yeah, shout out my uncle. And so that's kind of how I started. But yeah, it was because I grew up in the band and had some type of like music background, and then really just hated playing their music. I was like, I'm done.
Damn.
I'm done with the band. I remember when I dropped out of band, I was like, what am I gonna do? Like, this was in 9th grade, I think. Like, you know, and then I had started already making beats before that, and then I was like, you know, I just want to make my own beats. And I was in like, bro, I was in Logic at like 7th grade.
That's crazy. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
I was in Logic at like I think I remember saving up a little bit of money for Logic because I was in GarageBand and I was researching like, yo, like what is the next, like, you know, I'm on YouTube in what year was that? 2010 probably, you know what I mean?
man,
2010.
bro, that's crazy.
And so I'm on YouTube looking at like Logic tutorials and stuff, and I'm like, yo, I need Logic. Like, that's the next step after GarageBand. And so I remember it was Black Friday. It was probably
done it.
this around this
That's
season.
crazy.
This season, probably like 10 years ago, maybe now at this point.
What was the
No,
low?
12 years ago. I'm freaking 24.
Do you remember the discount?
I remember the discount, bro. I remember the discount. So
Black
this is what
Friday.
happened. Me and my mom went to Best Buy.
They sell like the cards.
And
Damn,
Logic,
you had to
bro,
buy that shit on the
Logic,
card.
bro. Logic was $200
At that time.
and at that time they were selling the Apple gift cards that were $200 for
Discount.
$100,
Bro,
Whoa.
that's
So I was
dub.
like, Mom, like, this is what I want.
what's
This
up?
is like the only thing
Christmas
I want
present.
this is the only thing I want for Christmas. And we're out Black Friday shopping. We ended up Black Friday shopping, I think, that whole night. Went home at like 6 a.m. or something crazy. But
Black
Real
I ended up
quick, hey,
getting
real
that.
quick, Black Friday's not fresh no more. It's been for like the past 5 years.
Oh, I know. It's
Nah,
crazy.
Black Friday sucks.
No, it's not the same. It's not what it used to be. But I mean, We All Ugly will probably still have a Black Friday sale though.
Oh shit.
Don't worry.
Plug.
Either a Black Friday sale or Cyber Monday. Don't worry. But yeah.
Keep it on the list. Stay on the lookout.
Hey, there it is.
Oh, dude.
Continue.
We'll drop an alley discount code too. Don't worry.
Oh.
All right. So yeah, bro. So I got that discounted. I remember downloading like the next day or something, and I was
Easy.
like, bro, I was so hyped to download it, get into it, and I remember opening up, and I was like,
What the fuck?
this is so confusing. Like, this is the worst thing. And at that, bro, I was probably like 12, 13 years old. You know what I mean? Like on a computer, like trying to work Logic. Like that stuff looks so confusing. So obviously, where do I go? YouTube. Like YouTube, how to make a beat in Logic. And learn from there, like literally learn from YouTube. Like, yo, how do you make a beat in Logic? And so started making music in Logic, started, discovering other things. And then I found out about Machine later on. And I begged my other uncle to get me that. You know what I mean? I was just like, yo, I'm making beats. Like,
Sorry.
I need whatever.
Sorry, I'm
But
trash. What's Machine?
That's the one I use.
the beat pad?
It's just another software.
It's just another, it's called a digital audio workstation.
It's a little
so
more
it's a DAW.
limited in the sense of like I wouldn't be able to edit my podcast on Machine.
Yeah,
Okay.
you could, but it'd be really hard.
It would be really, it would be
Real
really
quick,
fucking hard.
we know about I'm sorry, the artist you work with. What's his name?
Jon Keith.
Jon Keith.
Yeah.
Where did the influence of, because he raps, right?
Yeah.
Where did the influence with hip hop come in? Why'd you decide to take that route out of all the shit you could have done, bro? If you had
Yeah.
that bad influence, where you could have gone into jazz, like
Yeah.
any fucking outlet. What-
Fucking EDM was really popping at
Oh,
the
at that
time.
time?
Bro, no. So also Flume was like one of my favorite artists coming up. So I was like, oh my gosh. At one point, like you can even ask John, like this dude I was always like debating like making music. Like I would make
like,
beats for
stop with
him,
that
but I would
EDM
also
shit, bro.
have I would also have like that little like bag of like, oh dang, I want to make this type of music, but it's two completely different worlds. And I think as a producer, you can get into anything you want to get into, but it just takes time to dive into those, different genres and stuff. But I mean, I chose hip hop just because that's what, bro, I grew up with like Drake, like bro, Drake
say, I was gonna say, that's when
Drake dropping
Drake was
albums,
fire.
like yeah, Drake was literally throughout our whole like childhood. So hearing Drake, I'm like, this is amazing music. Like I want to make music like this, and so that's kind of what always kept me into like hip hop. I mean, my earliest music memory was like,
Bro, I remember your shit was
listening.
40. Like when you first
40,
started
yeah, 40
producing,
was
like your shit was
always-
40. Like you
yeah,
want to be like,
I was
like, it
always like
40.
figuring out how he did
40
stuff.
and T minus.
Yeah, T minus is always T minus is fire. T minus is still
T
fire.
minus did like a lot, like Take Care. Like he did Hypher. I know he did Hypher.
He did
I'm pretty sure he
Hypher.
did the motto. I think
He did
might
the
have-
motto, "Make Me Proud."
He did a lot of old shit for Drake.
He also did like Middle Child is a newer thing.
He did J. Cole's Middle Child track.
Yeah. So yeah, figuring out about these producers and like seeing them, I'm like, yo, this is dope. I want to, that's what I want to do. And so that's kind of where I stuck with, was just hip hop.
That's so helpful that you did band though, just because, dude, like, okay, for example, my experience when I first opened Logic, bro, and I tried figuring that shit, I wanted to
It's
cry.
insane. No, I would close it out like in frustration.
Oh, bro, I would rage, bro. Like,
The closest thing I can relate to is when I first like discovered and I first bought my first Mac, bro.
Yeah.
That's fucking tripping me out, bro. No way you were 13.
Yeah.
My little brother's 13. At 13, what was I doing? Reading Harry Potter? Anyways, but I got my first Mac when I was 17. I had just graduated. It was for college.
Yeah.
And I got the education bundle that comes
Okay.
with everything.
Yeah.
And my shit was Final Cut.
Yeah.
Bro. I was like, what the fuck? And that I can't even. You guys, I know that shit is 10, 100 times more
Bro,
complicated.
the fact that-
that's why I let Hyder handle all the audio problems.
The crazy part is though, I think coming up with Logic and like at that young of an age, like being computer
oh, that's just
literate,
set you
like,
the fuck up.
being able to like do anything on a computer, like bro, I get frustrated in like Photoshop, Illustrator, Final Cut, Premiere, whatever it is, but now I'm like, give me a program and I can probably figure it out.
Bro, and then you got the Mac shortcuts. Fucking
exactly. It's
unlocked.
like, bro, I mean, give me the computer and I can figure out how to do it. Yeah. Like, yeah. So that. It set me up pretty solid.
Bro, like the simple fact, like I said, because of like you did band, that you even knew like bro, I don't even know. I have no music background. So when I first started trying to learn Logic and Machine, bro, I didn't even have a fucking 4 count. Like, that shit, like just learning like the fucking
the
1,
basics,
2, 3, 4 was a bitch. Like it still kicks my ass to this day. Like, that's fucking, I don't know. That's
it's a
tight.
trip.
That's tight.
I'm lucky I had some type of foundation in music before I got into it because I had basic things, but the people that study, you know, really went hard in band and knew like their keys and scales and different modes and all that stuff. Music. They're like I could probably still read music, but it would take me some time. Like, but other than that, I'm like, man, I mean, give me a computer and I could probably figure it out.
What Adrian talking about now, bro? Now that's your foundation, right?
That was
how you started. What
12 years ago.
What's up with that now, bro?
So now, man, the crazy part is I'm gonna keep it 100% real. I still make beats, but now I'm not really making as much. Like I'm not making as much. I'm still really focused on We All Ugly, but I mean, the love for music is still there for sure. The love for music is still there, and I'm around it all the time with Jon. And so really now it's just Jon coming to me with ideas. Like he'll come to me with like, yo, I have this demo. I want you to spice it up. Like, yo, I need different drums or different like bass line or melodies, whatever it is. And so music is still super therapeutic for me though. I think that's one thing that sometimes when I'm not making music, I feel like I'm in a rut. Like I feel like I'm like, what am I doing with my life? Like, you know, and so, it's like therapeutic for me now. And I mean, I'll do it when I need to, like, you know, when I need those little breaks or working on stuff with Jon. But I mean, I have made a lot of songs for Jon and made, you know, certain, you know, songs that I love seeing them be performed. It's pretty dope.
Certain bangers,
you know, just that's what the fans might call it. No, just kidding. No, but like it's dope. I mean, it's been 7 years going strong with Jon. So it's like we really have like I feel responsible for being there with him. I feel like even with like to bring in a little bit of like my faith in like God and everything. I think God placed us in the right places at the right times for each other, honestly. Cause I think if it wasn't for Jon, I probably wouldn't be making music anymore. I probably wouldn't be anywhere like near music like that. Okay. And also same thing with him. Like I think at the point when we first met, he was like about to stop rapping because he didn't have nobody to make beats.
Shit.
Like,
I was gonna ask you, how'd that come about?
Yeah. So we met through a nonprofit called David's Heart Foundation, which is literally right around the corner in East Village. And basically they were a program that, you know, traded grades for studio time. So like you could go with your grades and they'd be like, all right, cool. We'll teach you how to run, you know, Pro Tools, Machine, teach you how to make beats. Like there was instructors, people there.
School grades? Like high school?
School grades, yeah, bro.
What?
Also, this program is also one of the reasons why I probably graduated high school because I did not care about like school at all. So you could trade grades for studio time.
Bro, that's
the
fucking
crazy
badass.
thing now is they're like, bro, they've expanded so much from when I first stepped foot in the studio, but I remember like that first moment of stepping in the studio and like being in a real studio for the first time, like. And it's like, yo, that changed my life. And through that, one of our mentors, I was just on the phone with him. That's why I had to take that call. But he's still in my life. And so that dude, his name is Brandon Stepp. And so he's the founder of David's Harp. And he paired me and Jon together.
Big shout out.
He's like, you make beats, you rap, y'all should work together. So we worked on like one project, probably spent a whole year together. Like he would come over to my house every day, pretty much. Like I would go to school, come home, he would come to my house, and we'd make music. For like a year. That was like my senior year into like the first year out of high school. And so that's how we got like close. And I think since then, that was like 7 years ago, bro. And so since then.
That's insane, bro. I remember I think I've only met Jon like twice.
Yeah.
The first time I met him was at like I forget whose party it was.
Like a high school party?
Yeah, you were there. We were both, well, if he was there, you were there.
Yeah.
And he was just super down to earth. He was like with like 2 or 3 homies at the time.
It was probably, I think I remember the party. I think was it in Chula Vista?
Yeah, it was in Chula Vista.
Yeah. I remember.
It was cool.
He remembers too. I remember.
Yeah.
I remember.
Oh, yeah, you were there too.
Yes, you were there.
Yeah.
You were there.
It was back when you were booed up.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah, we don't, yeah. If you remember it, you remember it. But if you don't, you weren't there. Don't worry about it.
Hey, question, because that is a memory of mine. Whose pad was that?
It was.
I'm trying to remember too.
It was Priscilla's pad.
Okay, we'll cut it.
Okay, whatever. You can just beep. But like, yeah,
it was me.
No, it was her.
Trevor,
bad.
why was I there?
That house is dope. Probably because he was there.
No, because I showed up separately.
I didn't
Really?
fuck with Hyder. No, I'm just saying.
No, I
hated it back then.
Yeah, I showed up separately. Why the hell was I there?
Should I invite you? I don't know if I invite. I don't know. I really don't know. That's crazy. That's so wild. I forgot that you guys were there. That's so wild.
Oh man,
That's so wild.
Oh, but yeah. Anyway, shout out John. That's the first time I met John. John was super down. He was super down there at that time.
The ginger hidden, crazy.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was like, wait, you were there. No, we were all there. Oh, it's fucking Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, John's super cool, and so I think even if if I wasn't around, I don't know if he'd still be making music. You know, I don't know that, but yeah.
Shout out John, bro. Big tag. Trust, you'll be in the tags
For real. No, for real.
So then, in that sense too, we were talking about it yesterday too, but like you evolved in that sense too, from going from making beats to like I said, like you're producing now, like you're basically like in a sense a stage manager. You're working with lighting. Yeah. You're working with like all that. Kind of talk about, especially with tour. You guys just went on tour.
Yeah, we just went on tour. That was crazy. So yeah, man, over the last 7 years, I think one of the biggest things that I take as like value in being around a lot of that stuff, a lot of just being around an artist and seeing how like somebody's career evolves through 7 years, is just the amount of people saying things. Like, I think this is one thing I'm gonna just drop for people listening. Like, on this journey of whatever it is you're doing, people are gonna say like, yo, I can do this for you. I can do this for you. Or I want to do this and this and this. And it's like, yeah, like cool, you might, but like, don't. I remember like we used to take it as like, oh my gosh, they're promising like they can really do this and they're gonna do it. But like now I don't really take people's words for like, I don't make them hold weight anymore. You know what I mean? Like if people say like, yo, I'm gonna do this for you. I'm gonna do this for you. Like, cool. If you're gonna do it, then you're gonna do it. But like, we're not really out here trying to like, I mean, even at those times we were like, yo, they can, like, yo, they might be able to do this. But now it's just a little different. I don't know why. Like,
no, I get it's a thing where
if I need to explain it more, let me know.
No,
too,
it's a thing where if I'm understanding you correctly, it's like, if you can help me, that's sick. But I'm gonna move forward like you can't.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, kind of. It's kind of that. Like,
what are these fools promising?
There's just people, bro, along the way, like
or something like that. They're gonna make you. They're gonna help you.
Kind of, yeah. Like, yo, I know these people, and I can get you connected with these people, and like, you know, it's like, I mean, maybe. So, like, tell me a little bit about what you want to do. Like, you're hella. Are you into like directing? Is that like a goal? Or
like, I mean, right out of high school, I got into UCSB as a film major. Fire. So that was my goal at the end of the day. Like, I mean, I was writing a script. I was doing this. I was shooting videos, just random footage. Like that. That was my goal.
For sure. So what it would look like for you is like, yo, I know somebody in LA and they like, they're looking for people and I can plug you in and I know, and so that's what it looks like. You know what I mean? Like,
but they never follow through though.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So for those, like these past time, like, now it's just kind of like, cool. Like if you can, then hit me up. Work out, and also the value of relationships, bro. Like that's really what it, like a lot of this stuff is about. Like a relationship is going to do a lot more than just like trying to pay to get on something or like, trying to send somebody your work to have them listen to it. You know what I mean? Like if you build a relationship and if you're working hard, people are going to realize that and they're going to take it and be like, wow, this dude really, like they're going to respect you for it and be like, yo, what's up? Like, let's go to lunch, whatever, So, but talking a little bit more about like that whole thing is just like, bro, it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work to do just artistry. Like it's crazy. But I mean, even this tour thing that we were on, man, like everybody looks at it as like tour, like, oh my gosh, that's so dope. And it was a big deal. And it was really cool, life-changing experience for sure. But it was just like, it was a lot of different things. Like working, like, there was places where we would pull up and like the sound guy would not be fire. And like, he would not know how to run sound. And I'm like, bro, what's up? Like,
is that your job? Or?
I mean, like, that's kind of your job. You should know how to do this. But I mean, learning a lot of these things along the way, I would step in and be like, yo, like, I want it to sound a certain way. So I'm going to take on that role. And so, kind of being willing to like learn more, different roles of what that looks like. And so, yeah, I mean, so
it's been a big learning process.
For sure, bro. For sure. The last 7 years, I've learned a lot.
And music's been like the second half of this, like, this whole episode. But that, would you say like it was, even though you're not doing it as heavily now as you were when you started, but that shit was like a big just doing something creative was a catalyst.
Oh, for sure, bro.
To like doing fucking your brand and XYZ.
Sure. Yeah, I think after I connected with Jon, like even after I connected with Jon, we were like building for a while. He had got signed to somebody, and then he came out of that. Even I think a lot of like what is high key underrated is the mental like blocks that you have to get through to get where you want to get to. Like mentally, you become stronger because of like everything that's around you, and you think like, dang, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can do this. But you have to get over like yourself, kind of. Like you have like there's moments that you get to, like even with us, like there was hard moments in like our friendship that we were like, yo, like are we even gonna be able to like be friends after this? And those are crazy things that you don't even think about like when you grow and stuff like that. But being creative definitely played a role in like opening up other avenues of like anything. Cause now it's like if I drop something for We All Ugly, the audience is a lot bigger because I can get it in front of more people. You know what I mean? Like I can give it to Jon. I can give it to a lot of different artists. Yeah.
They start going hand in hand.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I think before I used to separate myself into a lot of different pockets of like, oh, this is me as a Young Life person. This is me as We All Ugly. This is me as like a producer. This is me. But it's like, no, I'm me and I'm the one
that's you.
Yeah, that's me. Like, so I'm me in everything that I'm doing. So yeah, like I don't really separate. I try not to separate it anymore, but
that is one thing.
It all plays into it.
Hyder's trying to work on his shit on the side, and then I want to too. Like I want to get back into it, because this shouldn't be the only thing, as you said it, avenue that could I don't know, lead to something bigger.
That was always the idea when we started this. It was like, this is gonna be like we want to do this shit because we like it, and then
this is our foundation.
This is like our foundational thing, and like and the only reason I know like we're doing this shit in a kind of like what you said with clothes and shit, like we don't give a fuck. Like don't get me wrong, if we were to make a penny off of this shit, like tight. But I don't think we've had one conversation when we're
about
like
money,
like where we're like, where we're like, hey bro, like we need to start making money off this shit. We haven't had one. We haven't talked about that shit once. Like we'll fuck around.
The only conversation about money is that we're too broke, bro.
Yeah. We'll like talk, we'll fuck around, be like, yeah, you guys need to blow us up. But like, it's never been like a stress where like, dude, like we're not blowing up. Like we've never talked about that shit one time. But like he likes doing film, I love music. Like, and I think if anything, doing shit like this, kind of like how I said, like that's why I asked you, like, think that was a catalyst, it was a spark for you to do other things. That's kind of how I feel about this. Like, love doing this, and it's kind of motivating me to be like, okay, like I can be in front of a fucking camera like once a week. Yeah, like I can do other shit and like have the balls to jump into it.
Two things too, bro. Like one, it's gonna put you around more people that are creative.
Dude, you just fucking took the words out of my mouth.
Literally, it's gonna put you in front of more people that
real quick
that'll inspire you.
Adrian went to our high school. Hyder knew him for how long has it been? Whatever.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is 12 years, probably. 12
this is the first time, even that stupid party that we were talking about, this is the first time I've sat and talked to fucking Adrian.
Yeah.
And Hyder's known him the whole fucking time. So making those connections is fucking crucial. And it's just like, it's going to be a game changer, bro. Yeah. We're going to get people on here eventually that we don't even fucking know. Either one of us. It's going to be the first time we meet them is going to be the time that we're interviewing them or whatever, So it's going to be, I mean, that's all I'm hoping for.
Yeah, honestly. Bro. Yeah. And that's the crazy part, bro. Like, I mean, so the Bible says, I mean, for me, I'm a man of faith, so I believe in Jesus. And so like the Bible says that steel sharpens steel, like iron sharpens iron, iron sharpens iron. So it's
I do love them.
So being around more people that are like dope at what they do, you're just going to naturally be better at what you do. Like, because they do it with like an excellence that's not like other people, you know what I mean? And so, especially people that are creative and like, you can just, bro, the fact that you can just ask somebody that knows so much about whatever it is that they do, you're going to probably learn something, you know what I mean? Like if they do it at a high level, you're going to learn like some type of gem, you know what I mean? Like just by talking to them, you're gonna be like, wow, I see things differently now, but also, like, I think this is also for you, like to encourage you guys, like this is going to be a dope thing to just have as a documentation of where you guys are at in life, like throughout the next years, like as you guys keep doing it, like, and I will respect you guys for being consistent. Like, bro, how many episodes? 30? Bro,
34.
34 is crazy.
How many months has been?
Think about that.
It's been since March.
props to you guys. Hey, cheer for you guys one time, bro. For real. No, for real. Because it takes a lot. Like, I mean, like even with the brand thing, bro, it takes, like we were talking about yesterday, like, it takes a lot of work to just even get in here and do all this. Like the fact, like some people would have just not even wanted to record because you had to bring up the stuff up here. They'd be like, oh, dang it. Nah, you know what? Let me just go.
We're going to
home.
have to cancel.
Yeah, no, for real. But like the fact that you guys are really doing it, like for real, respect that.
We do work on it.
Yeah, we
Thanks,
do
brother.
appreciate it. Nah, yeah, and we're
real.
like, dude,
Trust me,
it's
the whole
crazy.
fuck that. Fuck the compliment. The whole you being on here and talking about your whole thing is just, it just serves as we were talking about. It serves as motivation. It's insane, man.
That's what exactly what main reason. You know, I've been wanting to have you on since I started this thing
Hot
back.
Chuck,
For real.
That's not cap. It's
It's actually
No,
not
he's
a
just
good.
saying
that's
that.
kind of
He's just saying
annoying,
that.
you know. And then I was like, dude,
You're like,
hell
who
yeah.
is this guy? I don't even remember this guy from high school. Who
You
is
know what
this
I fucking
guy?
hate though? Because Adrian Woods always talked about it, but he said he's like, we need to drink something special. It should have been a cocktail night tonight, bro.
I was putting him on
It's all
yesterday.
good.
I
We'll
was
do a part
putting-
two. We'll do a part
Oh,
two.
yeah.
Alright.
There'll always
We'll
be
bring in
parts.
some bartenders. We'll have.
Just
Don't
like,
worry.
oh,
The
Don't
bartender's
worry,
right here.
bro.
This fucker's a
Oh
bartender.
yeah, like that. All right.
Yeah, this guy's
Alright.
a bartender. He was a bar back for a minute, but
Okay, I'm dead. Yeah, it'll be dope. We should have. I mean, eventually, just thinking vision wise, I think it'd be dope to have audience too.
Adrian hasn't
you
even seen
know.
the room, bro. We need to take him downstairs.
yeah, we're gonna show you the room.
Okay, for sure. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
excited for that.
yeah,
But I'm
freaky
saying,
down
bro,
there.
audience wise, I mean, I don't know what you guys could do with this space, but I think it'd be dope to have a conversation with the audience for real.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah, I didn't even think.
I mean, that's what I'm
What
thinking,
do you
bro.
guys think?
See what I'm saying, bro? Like, I could see people in here already listening to a conversation because,
That would be kind of tight.
bro, I'm just saying,
That
if you
never
bring it
crossed
together
my-
over a topic like, yo, make this like a once a month event type of thing. Like, yo, we're gonna have or if it,
It's
the
gonna be
alley,
our
like,
pop-up shop.
yo, I mean, there it is. You could buy our merch here, come through. Like, those of you that listen in San Diego, pop up. Like, we'll be here. And
We're
it doesn't
doing a
have to
live
be-
exclusive
And the thing
episode.
is, you don't have to have hella people, but the people that come through, like, you're gonna be able to build a relationship with them after, talk to them. Like, yo, they feel like
And,
they know you.
and
a
this
little
is
more.
a perfect place for that. Like that's
Exactly.
what they do here and shit.
Let's do it.
I
The
never-
Alley
never
XUL,
thought about that.
We'll do
Here
a
we
pop
go.
up. Everything.
Here we
Let's
go,
get it,
bro.
I just have to talk to Sarah. That's easy.
I mean,
I want to bring something more lightly because we're coming up on that mark. I think we're gonna have to record a little bit more today.
Yeah, yeah.
let's do it.
If you're cool with it.
I'm down.
But Hyder wanted to bring up. He brought it up. I think a couple weeks
Oh,
ago.
no.
Hyder
Oh,
and I have had this convo.
Oh
so many
yes,
times.
What is
yes. It's a
this?
short convo.
Oh,
And
my
you're
gosh.
into music, you know what's up. And
Okay,
you
okay.
brought up the name. It's a music thing.
Okay.
And
Oh, I love this. I love that you're asking him.
because
I
I'm gonna
love
go
this.
see him next week. That's how much I love him.
Oh, wait,
and I don't go to
that,
concerts.
That's next week.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. Sorry.
You going by yourself?
No, Bex. Fuck with me. I have. Ready? The Weeknd
okay.
Listen to this.
versus Bruno Mars. Who's better?
Look,
It's so annoying. Bro.
See, he had to put his drink down because it's not easy, bro.
Look,
it's
it's-
so annoying.
it's not easy, but it is.
oh,
It's not easy, but it is.
Bro, if he goes my way,
I think
I'll
Adrian's
bring-
gonna side with you.
It's not easy, but it is. But Bruno Mars all day.
Yes. Fuck, dude. No.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. He got out of the chair and everything.
Dapped him up. Dude, sit down.
No, I'm just gonna say Bruno Mars
Doesn't get his flowers. to the
has
podcast.
brought something that I think the Weeknd. Yes, I will give him his flowers
The
for sure.
Weeknd's
But I
beast,
think,
bro. Weeknd gets a mo clap because Weeknd's
sure.
a bad motherfucker.
but Bruno Mars, I just think he just does it to a different level.
Yeah.
I think it's just to a different level. That's
Nah,
all
how
it
do-
is. To a different level, and the excellence of like what he puts out is just like, bro, it's insane. Yeah, it is.
The Weeknd's fucking amazing. Like he's amazing.
He is.
But Bruno Mars, and I think the only reason he won't get his props sometimes is because it's like a little more on the poppier side than the Weeknd even.
100%. But
Like radio music, you're saying?
Yes.
yeah, but I think the other thing is there's only a few artists, and I don't know if the Weeknd makes it. Maybe he does, but every single generation knows a Bruno Mars song. Maybe they do the Weeknd, but I think
Well, give him some time.
I mean
They've been
Mars
around.
been-
They've been around just as long,
Same thing.
dude.
Yeah, same kind of
Low
years.
key.
Bruno
I
Mars
think-
popped off in about when I was in 6th grade, so that was like 2000. Damn, times
Okay,
like
wait.
2010. Damn. Okay, but let's finish fucking stabbing Miguel in the chest.
All right.
No, yeah, kill me now.
all right.
Okay, get my reasoning for me thinking Bruno Mars. I don't like saying better, especially now. I'm getting older. I don't want to say. I don't want to say better. I still fuck with the Weeknd. I've been on a
Yeah.
trilogy. I told you I've been on a trilogy kick for like the past 2 weeks for some reason. or House of Balloons, whatever the hell. And
You know what the hell?
well, no, because I don't know if you guys saw his post, but he just like came out and he like made sure he specified to be like, yo, like these two are not the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't.
Trilogy
He
is
made
a basically a compilation of his first 3 mixtapes.
Yes, but then
they're
he
different.
Yeah, but then he dropped the whole post being like they're mixed differently. Like little things are different from like the mixtapes on SoundCloud versus me putting them together on Apple.
Oh, okay.
So and he might even take off Trilogy as a whole. He's thinking about it.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because he doesn't like how it got
Mixed
changed.
or
Yeah.
put together?
He didn't like It's like a whole thing. Look it up. It's kind of weird. I'm like,
That's right.
I don't know if you even seen fucking Cudi got like mad because a song he dropped on SoundCloud, people like the SoundCloud version better than the Apple version, and so they're listening to the SoundCloud version.
more,
So he took down the SoundCloud.
Yeah.
And it's
Artists
like,
will do that.
I get it. You wanted to be consumed in the original sense, and you're trying to make the money, but it's like it's for your fans. Like it was already there, anyways.
Trying to make
Whatever,
money, bro.
Different point.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Artists I don't know.
I get it. You're trying to make your
artists.
money, but it was already there for all this time. Like, might as well just, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Why
feel
is
like
Bruno Mars better than The Weeknd?
Bruno Mars, in my opinion, he's a better vocalist. Slightly better vocal. No, not slightly.
Nah,
he's
bro.
a
I
better
think
vocalist.
no
He's a
chance.
better dancer, better entertainer.
Yeah.
He's more musically inclined. He plays
He can play everything,
he plays
pretty
damn
much.
near everything. He where the Weeknd does meet him halfway, changes up his style. Maybe not as 360 as Bruno Mars. Bruno Mars went from the sad guy to the fucking what was it, Uptown Funk. He went a little more. Yeah, I don't know. He's evolved
That
his
whole album was
sound.
crazy, though, yeah.
Yeah, and then he did fucking Silk Sonic with Anderson .Paak.
Yeah.
Like, and it's a big thing with me with music nowadays is quality over quantity. The Weeknd doesn't drop as often as a lot of other artists do,
Yeah.
but he does drop pretty consistently. Bruno Mars will take a while. Like, he'll sit with this shit for a while. I don't know. I just think he has produced better quality work.
I think so too. I would agree. I would agree on that.
And he's just as, you might not like it because it might be a little more pop for you, but it's just as consumable as The Weeknd. Just as, for sure. And Dawn FM, which The Weeknd that's like his latest album, was my favorite Weeknd project in a while because he finally fucking did something different.
Yeah. No, I thought it was cool. I listened to it. It was definitely like, it was dope. I'll say it was dope, but I mean, I wouldn't take it over like
Silk Sonic.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
Give me your take though. What do you think?
I would just say based off of like different categories, I would just say The Weeknd. I don't know. I just don't think he compares. I don't know. In different musically, artistry, like talent wise, like I think The Weeknd is amazing, but I think Bruno Mars brings something that just The Weeknd can't. Like I don't know. The Weeknd is remaking a lot of old hits, like same thing as Bruno Mars, but I think Bruno Mars does it in a different way and like takes it but flips it in a better way.
Like bringing back old sound but making it his.
Yes, yeah. I think The Weeknd. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what. I've never really even talked about that. Like, yeah,
I don't know why this. It's because they used to clown me because I'm a fuck shame. I don't give a fuck. I'm a Bruno Mars fan.
That's not why I don't like what you say. Bruno Mars is fresh. I acknowledge it, bro. I used to dance to what's that one song where he's lazy or whatever. The lazy song.
yeah.
Today I don't.
Bro, I was beasting. I was fucking recreating that video. But no, it's not that. All your shit's right. And that's why I hate this convo because you're always right.
No. I'm not always right. Right. But
you're always right with this convo, with those arguments. Like 100%.
Yeah, no, he articulates it pretty solid.
But the only reason why I fuck with The Weeknd more when it comes to them two is because I feel like he's more of like I hate to say it, like a visionary. Like when it comes to putting together a story and creating the album simultaneously.
No, bro, he's phenomenal. I'm just speaking. I'm probably being technical. I'm being technical.
Yes. And that's what I'm saying. I agree with you.
It's the same thing. And you know what? This is another. I didn't think we were gonna go there. I can say the same thing with Kendrick and Drake. If we're going technicality, Kendrick is a better artist, technically speaking. I think.
Yeah. I mean, these are tough conversations.
They are. They are. And I don't like. I've been trying to steer away from the pinning. I don't like pinning people against each other.
No, not at all.
I don't want to bring somebody down or prop somebody up.
Yeah.
Consumable.
But cohesive album wise, Kendrick has done it better than Drake for sure.
And has evolution of sound.
Yeah.
Like we said, like this last Drake album, straight up best project in fucking years, in my opinion. I feel like he.
Yeah, I mean he did. Yeah, this album was solid,
and it still wasn't pushing the envelope like that. Like he plays it safe, and that's fine. He makes phenomenal fucking music.
Yeah.
If you stuck me in an island, I can't even lie. I love Kendrick. I'd probably listen to more. I'd probably want to have more Drake shit on my stuff. Like
if I was stuck on an island.
If you were stuck on an island, we did this.
What's that one song with his dad on the? The one album with his dad on the.
More Life. Yeah,
I'd be with that all day on that.
Bro, More Life is
Sleeper. That shit.
More Life is slept on. More Life is slept on.
Talked about that several times.
No, it's slept on for sure.
People
that has bangers,
bro, bangers.
It has hits on there. Yeah. Like it's crazy. It's crazy that's just a playlist. But
yeah, same convo though. Like if we're being technical. I think same thing as the Bruno Mars Weeknd conversation. I think Kendrick, technically speaking, artistry, he's a better artist.
I think it's a beautiful time to close it out, brother.
Yeah, go for it.
No, you know what? I want to close it out with my last few points I had here, real quick.
Few.
Yeah, just 2 points.
You got 5 more questions.
Nah, chill. I'm not trying to grill you. So we all went to the same school. I want to learn more about Young Life.
Yeah.
So when we were in school, right?
Yeah.
Like the people that we were in class with, there was people that were preaching Young Life, and from my understanding at the time, Young Life is like, it's obviously like heavy religious base, right? And when we were in school, I don't know.
Yeah, speak how. Like, I love the perspective.
Yeah. It was a not heavy religious thing, but it was based on foundationally was religion, right? But we had a lot of like our classmates that were taking a part in it, where people like, and I don't want to judge, but they were doing like some fucking, like, you see people preaching this shit, but then they're doing this.
Yeah.
So that's like
some euphoria shit.
Complete, some complete 360.
Euphoria is crazy. That's hilarious.
So it was always like, I don't want to say it gives you a bad idea, but it's just more like if they say this, and they do this.
Yeah, I love this conversation.
So I want to know, like, can you just kind of tell us what Young Life is essentially, like what it is, and especially like knowing you.
I'll explain.
And probably knowing you is what kind of gave me like a different view on it, because you've actually, and you and your friends, like I know Steve and Chancho, like they've all been a part of it as long as you've been.
Yeah.
So I know, like obviously, like you guys are, I don't know them as well as I know you, but I know they're good people though. So like I don't think you guys would, be part of something that you didn't necessarily believe in, and it's clearly changed your life in 100%. A sense. So I just kind of want to know more what it's about, and then it's dope, like, because obviously you spend a lot of time with like the youth, like people that are younger than we are, like fucking his sister. I mean, I don't think she was in it, but she went to a few of the things and shit. Like,
I'll explain on that. So Young Life is one, it's a nonprofit. It is a Christian nonprofit, but at the same time, I think the disconnect between like us when we were in high school. So it's an outreach club. So the difference is like there's faith groups and there's like church groups, but this is an outreach club. So like, we don't care what religion you are. We don't care who you are. We don't care if you're a good kid, a bad kid. We don't care if we literally do not care. Like, we accept everybody as they are, whether or not they believe in God at all or not. Like, and so we're completely open to anybody coming. And so I think the disconnect for us as like high schoolers when we were there, it would get a bad rep because the people that went were out partying and doing all these things, right? But even at that time, like, Young Life was a place that kids were able to just go and be a kid, like outside of being a student, outside of being like, whatever it was. Like, you could literally just go have fun. Like, we would literally have games, like fun games,
free
fun games.
It was like an after school club.
It was exactly. It was an after school club, but like, I think the difference between Young Life and like these other clubs is like, we actually, like, the leaders there actually care about these kids. So like, for me as a staff person, now I'm on staff. So I became a leader after I graduated and then went on staff. And so as a staff person, I'm there like, how can I make this club the dopest like time for these kids? how can I like build relationships with these kids? Because I know how much it takes to make a difference in a kid's life, and how many of these kids are really going through it. Like, think about all the moments that we had in high school of like, yo, breaking up with somebody or dealing with this or whatever. Like, imagine if you had somebody a little bit older than you, like guiding you in the right direction, not preaching Jesus all the time, but really being there for the kids. And so that's what the Young Life leaders were there for me. And like, and I think it got a bad rep because the people that were going were people that would go and party and all this stuff. But like, at the end of the day, like really what we do is we have food, we feed you guys, we have games, we allow you guys to have fun, come out, hang out outside of school, because you're not going to have a place like this in school. There's no place where you're actually going to get to know other kids
and just chill
and hang out and like have fun.
Yeah.
And then literally like, bro, we literally have our talks like at the end we share a story out of the Bible about Jesus for 10 minutes maybe, but the rest of it is about people. And I think that highlights like, I mean, Jesus was about people, bro. Like, you hear about every story about Jesus. It wasn't like, I mean, yeah, there was times where he would condemn people, but it was the religious people. Not even condemn. Like, he would just be like, yo, you guys are preaching this, but you're not really about it. And at the same time, he was out healing people. And so, like, for us, I mean, as a Young Life, like a staff person, like, I care about these kids a lot. You know what I mean? And so I think, yeah, it would just get a better rep because as high schoolers, we wouldn't really be able to see that, like the
bigger picture.
We wouldn't see the bigger picture. And so it was just kind of like, yo, these people are just out partying, smoking weed, doing all this stuff. Like, but yet they're going to Young Life on a Thursday, and Young Life is supposed to be about God and this and this and that. And I think the difference is like a lot of those kids didn't make the decision to follow Jesus by going to Young Life. Later on, like I didn't make the decision to follow Jesus when I went to Young Life.
You were going for fun.
I was going for fun. I was going because this was a dope place to be. Like I felt like these people cared about me.
Because all homies were like, yo, bro, come through. They got pizza and shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like it wasn't like, yo, we're gonna go and have a Bible study and like, you know, it wasn't like that. It was like, yo, this seems like a dope place to be and these people care. But later on, like the effects of being around those people, I figured
energy.
I figured out what God was actually like and what really what I believe. Like, and it wasn't just because I kept hearing it from them. It was like actual like moments that I had. And throughout that, I became closer to God. And now I like really understand what it's like to live as that. And I think even there's a lot of people that do believe in God that say, oh, you shouldn't cuss, you shouldn't do all these things. But it's like, if you're like, I mean, I'm not saying that, you know, whatever, like whether that's bad or good, language is language. Like it's a whole bigger conversation.
Sometimes but I think it's not even language. It's how you use the language.
How you use the language. Exactly. It's your heart. And so it's like, that's a bigger conversation. We can talk about that. But yeah, I think that's really what it is about like Young Life for me. Like it's hard for high schoolers to decipher the difference between these people are church people and they like are supposed to be following Jesus versus like, oh, these kids just want to have a good time. You know what I mean?
Can I
go for it? Bro, speak, bro, speak however you want to speak. I swear. I like,
listen to me. Anecdote. This isn't like I'm making it up. Did you ever go?
No, I never went.
I went a couple times.
Yeah.
It was before.
Yeah.
Like as just me.
Yeah.
Heidi didn't grow up religious.
Yeah.
At all, like whatsoever. Not really, for the most part.
No, I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Mm-hmm.
Heavy, Baptist, Christian.
Okay.
Hated it.
Yeah.
But that was just because it was like living two different lives. Like you're going to church, it's one thing, and then you come back and like something's happening at home or whatever.
100%.
Right? Just not to go into detail.
100%. I love this.
Hated it. By the time I went to the first Young Life thing, I don't know. I don't remember how or what I went. It wasn't because of who we think it is. I think it was a homie. I don't know who went. It reminded me so much of church.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean that Young Life was talking about the Bible or anything. It just reminded me of it.
Yeah.
I was a part of youth groups. I was knocking on doors on Saturday mornings.
Yeah.
I go to church on Sunday twice a day.
Yeah.
I go on Wednesday nights. You know what I mean? Like it was crazy.
Yeah.
So it reminded me too much, but it was a vibe, if that makes sense.
But it was like, it's like when it's an association though. Like you associated that with your.
That was just because of my personal background though.
Yeah.
But look, I remember specifically, shout out, what's her name? Adrian, help me out.
Oh, Luma?
She's so cool.
Luma?
Luna? Yeah, it was
Luma.
Luma. Yes. I got to ride home, Dick.
Damn.
They took my ass home.
This is what I'm saying, bro.
I'm not gonna forget that, right? It was just, I don't know. I think I didn't go back because I was afraid that I would like, I guess, associate myself with that again.
Yeah.
Like it'd be
Damn.
like, it'd be
And
like
I think
really
this
back
is
to my
crazy.
I mean, I don't know if the camera might cut off, but I mean,
we have hella time. We have hella time.
It's just, it was, I don't know. It brought back old bad memories in a way.
And I think,
but it was a great time, and I understood the message behind it.
yeah,
if that makes
and
sense.
I think the part of it is like, I think that's a bigger conversation because obviously you as a kid growing up, Christian Baptist, throughout all these things, I think that conversation, bro, like
this is like
that's a thing that a lot of people deal with in church.
Yeah.
Is people being hurt by the church or families even going to church on a Sunday acting like everything's fine, but then throughout the week dealing with
It's like
the struggle.
it's mayhem.
But the thing is, bro, that I've learned, and luckily I've been mentored by people that actually like really have studied the Bible and actually really
Practice what they preach.
really practice what they preach. And so when I was mentored by them, they taught me they gave me a perspective of the world that like when I saw that, like, yo, we're going to church, but like the world is effed up. Like it allowed me to view the world in the way that like, I got it. You know what I mean? Like we all ugly. Like everybody's imperfect. And so like even my parents, like they did an amazing job of raising me. But at the same time, when I see the reason, like I see we're going to church and it's all cool. And then we're in the picture. Hey, we're over here serving God, whatever. But you're treating me as like, not even my parents, but I'm saying, I'm speaking also for the kids like that grow up, or even just different people in the world. They've been hurt by people that are in leadership of the church or hurt by whatever, bro. Like majority of the times, like those people are
a lot of those kids. Sorry to interrupt. I'm sorry.
No, go for it.
A lot of those kids, half of them, bro, that's their first experience ever dealing with anything close to religion at all whatsoever. Like
Exactly.
like their
That'll
first,
turn
like,
you off.
It's different. Like they didn't know or could process or like even understand like, oh, like why the hell is he talking about the Bible? You know, like especially at that age, it's like it becomes, I don't know. It's just, it throws them off, I guess.
Yeah.
Where are you getting at? I'm sorry.
I think no. Finish. I think we should elaborate on like what you're saying. So you think, like, do you think that like it's kind of like useless or no? Like you think
no, not at all. But those kids that never experienced that or know anything about that threw them off to the point. But I know you had a lot of kids that did stay though, and they would come and they would like, it was like they loved it.
Yeah.
And they fucking made friends, family, you know what I mean? As that group, I don't know. It's hard to explain.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I'll speak on like, I'll be 100% transparent. Like I grew up in a broken family. So like my parents had me hella young. They ended up splitting up, divorcing later on. But I think one thing that sometimes the church doesn't do well is adopt people into a family and actually like really care about people like you should care about other people.
As family.
But I think Young Life is one thing that did that for me.
Yeah.
So
I can see
So
that.
for me, coming from a family, like that's all I ever wanted was like, yo, I want to feel like I belong,
Bro,
you know,
loved.
to people. I want to feel loved. And I think, and also to speak on like, we all ugly, like, bro, I went certain places and I was treated certain ways by Christians, like 100%. I was treated certain ways. They wouldn't acknowledge me because whatever it was, I wasn't wearing fear of God. I wasn't, you know what I mean? Like whatever it was, like real talk. Like
No, I
go places. I go play. But the thing is, I mean, the reminder is like for me as a believer in Jesus, like I'm not gonna let these people that are one small representation or whatever of God, like mess with my view on what I believe God
and
is
your
actually
faith.
like.
Yeah,
Exactly. So that's what also like, you know, realizing like the world is broken, bro. Like, so everybody's been through like their own hurt. Everybody's been like through their own thing. So it's like, even in churches, like, bro, there's a lot of different, like even Baptists, the different like, churches like being so separated. It's like, bro, the reason why there's so many different types of like churches or whatever is because like, long ago, people didn't want to sit down and have a conversation about this stuff. So they just decided to dip and go do something else and like do their own thing, but still claim God. So, you know what I mean? Luckily I was given the perspective of like, yo, this is why that happened. This is why this happened. But like don't ever let that affect who you are and you
And your
following
faith,
Jesus. You
yeah.
know what I mean? So, and it sucks, bro. And so even some of these kids that like, you know, do grow up in church, I hope that the way that I came, because I didn't come up like, I came up going to like Catholic church a little bit. We went to like a little bit of Christian, like, you know, churches or whatever, but I didn't ever feel like I actually belonged. You know what I mean? I didn't feel like until I was around people like that. So I hope though that the kids that do come while I'm, you know, under, you know, making this stuff happen for them, that they get the sense of belonging that, you know, they deserve.
That you got, bro.
That I got. You know what I mean? That's really why I do it. Like, I really care about these kids, you know what I mean? And I really want to be about what I say, you know what I mean? What I actually believe. Like, I'm not going to I don't want to treat nobody differently because whatever, you know what I mean?
Adrian,
But
they're like countrywide.
Huh?
They're like countrywide.
Young Life? Yeah. So Young Life is countrywide, but there is different people that are in charge of different areas, and
it's like
I
almost
will
like
say there is other areas in other states and other things that like
run differently.
are completely ran differently. There are definitely horror stories behind some of this stuff, but for me, like, I'm gonna make sure that our area.
Yeah, you're doing.
You know,
It's
I'm doing
almost
my
like,
part. Like, I'm making sure.
I'm
like,
doing me.
I'm doing. Yeah, bro. I'm gonna make sure that every kid that comes to the club is not in a place where they have to worry about comments, whatever it is. Like, you know, whatever it is.
We're all equal.
I salute you, brother. It's that's tough.
Yeah, bro.
It's tough.
Yeah, it's sick. I'm happy we had that conversation though.
No, for
Like,
real.
that was
I
one
mean,
I
and
wasn't
even if you want, no, but if
Start
you want
crying.
to, if you want to continue that conversation even after this too, bro, we could talk about it. Like, I'm 100%.
I take it that
love, like,
that question I asked initially, it wasn't the first time anybody ever asked you something about that, huh?
yeah, I mean, kind of, but
Maybe not our age.
maybe not you guys, but I
Maybe
think
the kiddos.
yeah, I think I
They
just
get curious.
It's just in high school, I don't think you realize that, and I think you see it even more now. Like, it's just different now. Like, you see the world a little differently. You know what I
Bro,
mean?
not even the world
You just
is different.
You just
Well, no,
hear
like-
about like in high school, you think about you hear about Young Life. Oh yeah, they talk about Jesus. It's like, okay, like
For me, it wasn't even
that's
necessarily
literally not even like, you know.
Yeah.
I like, my thing is like, I care about people. Like, you know, I care about these kids. Like, you guys see what's going on in the city right now. You know what I mean? Like, I'm the one. Like, who else is gonna be there for the kids? Not like I'm gonna be the only one, but like, how many people do you guys know that are actually like, yo, I care about the youth that's coming up in the city and are really doing something about it? Think about it. How many people do you know?
No one, bro.
No
I mean, think about
and then specifically National City, no one.
Think
Ask
about-
me why we took my brother out of where we took him out.
Exactly though. So I'm like, and even the little homies that are on the, you know, you guys are hearing about all the shootings and everything. It's like,
bad.
dude.
who's gonna, okay, like, we know how the world works, right? You can't just make somebody change. And I mean, I don't know where you're at with your faith and all that stuff, but I believe that Jesus can actually change people's lives and change people's hearts. I believe that truly. And so, or at least give hope for some type of thing, you know what I mean? And it's not even about them accepting Jesus into their life and like going and like getting
saved, getting baptized,
No, it's
whatever.
about people being in their life and caring about them consistently. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's something that the church might not do well sometimes. Because I think the church sometimes cares about, and I mean, I'm speaking to him a little bit more because you didn't grow up in like church or nothing, but I think the church sometimes cares about, are you being a good Christian? Are you, we're getting people saved, but it's like, no, like, really the body of Christ should be coming around people and loving people and like,
Are you understanding this
encouraging
person as a human being?
Exactly. So for me, one of my things is like, I want to care about these kids just like I care about my siblings. Because why? Because these kids are old enough to realize this is the life that I'm living, but that's the trajectory of the youth. You know what I mean? Like, especially in our city. So who is going to give them hope? No, like, who really? Like,
You better try, bro.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. So
Unlike you.
exactly. So that's why I feel like sometimes, I mean, this is a whole thing. That's the only reason why I'm teaching at the nonprofit that I'm at. I get to go into juvenile hall tomorrow morning, like, be with kids, make music with kids. So yeah, that's like literally, bro. Like, I would not be doing this if God did not tell me to do this. Like,
I know, bro. Do you?
so yeah, bro. That's a little bit.
Salute to you. Hats off.
For real, bro. That's a little bit of the real life. Like, bruh.
Man,
I mean,
that was
I know it's a
beautiful.
lot,
That was
but
beautiful.
there it is.
Nah, I love that.
We gotta close out though, bro. We have to.
Let's do it. There it is. I appreciate y'all listening.
Adrian, I fucking appreciate you for being on, dude.
Yeah, bro.
This was
About time.
No,
yeah,
for
this
real.
was exactly like I really do appreciate it. Adrian's a busy guy. As if you couldn't tell by listening to the fucking hour and a half episode, that Adrian's a busy guy. So I appreciate you making time for coming on. Plug your shit.
Of course, bro. At We All Ugly _ on Instagram. Follow us. YL South Bay, Young Life. David's Heart Foundation. Man, shout out everybody that has ever bought a We All Ugly hoodie, ever listened to our music, everything. So, yeah, shout out the city. Shout out you guys. Shout out the alley for real. Like, yeah,
Adrian,
that's what it is.
Adrian will be back on, guys.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Stay
And
tuned
we'll have an
part
audience.
2.
We'll have an audience next time. Don't
Hey,
worry.
we have to plan that one out.
Oh, for sure. We All Ugly pop up.
have to pop up.
The alley pop up. Let's get it.
Follow us on IG, Twitter, TikTok.
Y'all think I'm joking, but I'm not joking.
No. We got to get that going.
Miguel laughing. Nah.
At the Alley Podcast. If you want to come to pop up, hit me up. Let us know.
Invite only.
It's fucking.
Dude, no, we got to get
VIP.
that shit done. Yes.
No,
Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. How do you want to close out with a few words, brother?
I need a pee, so there'll be quick words.
I'm dead.
No, but anyways, we're gonna have way more content coming up. We're putting in work. We're gonna record again tomorrow. We're gonna have probably like 3 separate episodes coming out this week, including this one. We have some like extra projects we're trying to work on that we're gonna wrap up pretty soon. We're gonna get on the drawing board.
Yeah.
We're just gonna update our quality. We're trying to get better. We're trying to roll into the new year with a lot of momentum. I want to say thank you to everybody who listens, whether you listen once, twice, whether you listen every week. I appreciate it no matter what. And we're hoping to keep it rolling. Thank you so much. And thanks again, Adrian.
Thank you,
We appreciate
Adrian.
it.
Appreciate it, brother.
We All Ugly. Thank you.